Howdy, y'all. It's Curious Raven on this beautiful Tuesday morning. We are doing the Curious Raven Thoughts segment today. Let's get into it. So, this is all started before I was born. My mom and her friend Hillary were playing with a Ouija board, and they kind of did a lot. And one time they got scared while playing with the Ouija board and threw it. She told me that you're never supposed to let the piece leave the board while playing. So she thinks that is what started them seeing things about their day. After that, she saw things like once she saw Hillary's dead uncle that even Hillary never met. She didn't know who it was until the next day. She described it to Hillary's mom and said that it was her brother. She also saw him a couple of times. She described him as very like a human, but you could kind of see through him. And he was white like a piece of paper. And she also saw this one figure that was very human shaped, very tall and black with no features. He has no fingers, no hands, just like a sharp nubs. And now I'm seeing him ever since my mom has stopped. And it's freaking me out. I've even seen him since I can remember. And I just told her about seeing him and she got really scared and now telling me all these memories. And then we somehow got to dreams and I told her about the scary dream I had and she was shocked. I remembered it, but how could I not? It was when I was 3 and I had this dream. At first I saw was Christmas green wrapping paper. Then I saw my mom and her boyfriend at the time sleeping in bed, but they weren't really in bed. They were in the living room. And I tried walking and I tried waking them up because I saw this huge hooded blob on the wall who couldn't get off the wall, but he would grab at me and try to reach out for me. Then I walked into my grandma's room and she was asleep, but not really. But she was also on the couch. When you walked into the bathroom, I opened her blue seashell curtains, and the man that my mom would see was there. And I just yelled and shut it and ran out. Not before her sublime-looking sun decoration on her wall smiled. This eye smiled. I ran out, and this blind motorcyclist who only followed noise started chasing me. I yelled, and I figured out when he stopped following me, when I screamed so loud it was quiet, and then hid behind the couch my parents were sitting at, but I didn't see them. And I have no idea how I got behind the couch. The hooded man was talking to me, and I just yelled out, and my mom finally picked me up. All I saw was a motorcycle man. So I clawed at her eyes, and when she dropped me and yelled, I woke up with her covering her eyes and my grandma standing next to me on the floor by my mom. Took me to the hospital to get checked out, and she thought I was possessed or something, and the doctors thought I had a stroke, but there was no signs of anything. And for the next year, I had night terrors in my sleep and sleep paralysis. I remember one time where a girl who sounded like Jessie from Hey Jessie, but was all black, but behind the pillars of my basement where I was sleeping. And then when all I could do was stare at her, I couldn't move my fingers or anything. She walked up beside my bed and stood there for what felt like 2 hours, but I couldn't even move or make noise, so I couldn't wake up. I was sleeping with my mom at the time, so I had to sit through it quietly. And another time, I was at my dad's house and I woke up in the middle of the night, sat up for a while, and then looked over. Shadow witch. I don't know how. I was casting a shadow. It was very dark with no light coming from anywhere in my room. But when the shadow was looking at me and it had a fedora on, and anything I did, it did the opposite. It was like a person was facing me. When I would move my left hand, it would move its right hand. It was very weird. I've always seen that man, tall looking, skinny, featureless black figure, but they had really bony knees and elbows and their rib cage and their shoulder blades. It was like all pointy. It looked really scary. When I was describing that to my mom's friend, she also vividly remembers seeing something like this. I tried to look online to see if there was any way that we could get some help from not seeing these things, but my mom and her friend said it wasn't really scary. And it acted cocky for like a week, and her friend Hillary just ignored him for long enough But my mom started acting weird when I was like 1.5. And ever since the night terror year, I sleepwalk and talk a lot. There was this weird cheer to it. It was Hillary's other uncle who worked at this child charity, and he gave me a figure, and the figure came with these little coins, and I'll probably have one of these coins like maybe once every 4 months or when I'm really scared, and I'll get them. And I'll mostly only see the figure. The other stuff would go away. But I've recently quite seen him a lot, and he scares me a lot, and I just stare back at him. He doesn't have a mouth, but I feel his joy in scaring me. Like if I feel that if he had a mouth, he would just be sitting there smiling. My friends are making fun of me, calling me schizo. They couldn't see a figure. I just convinced myself it was shadows, lying perfectly well. Honestly, he's darker than dark, like a black hole. I'm in the 6th grade, and I just randomly started drawing him 3 times a day. I would draw him and just rip the paper. I don't know. I just like drawing him. If I look hard enough in my room, I might find one of him somewhere. I just get scared and turn my lights off. I go to bed. I need to tell someone this, and I cannot find anything about him or about this creature. Maybe if I knew his name, I could call him by his name. It would be really amazing. I just wanted everyone to know this story. I'm not really sure about what sleep paralysis is. I just imagine it's like a ghost thing, because I don't want to rewrite. And by the way, this is not false. I'm actually not sure if I believe it yet, or if my mom is just toying with me. Hi, Curious Raven here. I know you're really young, and I see shadow people too. This one is not your friend. You do not need to know his name. You need to just leave him alone. Do not give him any type of attention. He is thriving on it. If you see him, just turn over in bed and go back to sleep or start thinking of something completely different. Think of something happy, your happy place. It will help a lot. I'm not sure if you're religious or not, but if you believe in God, you tell God that you need his protection. In your mind, you tell the shadowy figure in a very authoritative voice that he is not welcome and he needs to leave your house in the name of God. And if you say that more and more and more, the less you should see of him. I hope that you take my advice because this thing seems like it is feeding off your fear and is not good for you. I hope this helps. Sleep paralysis, I really feel is like a demon coming to visit you because I have had that happen to me. And I have stated exactly what I told you to state. And it takes me out of my sleep paralysis and makes whatever it is go away. I wish you good luck. This is it for today. This was a short one. I will see y'all on Thursday. I actually have some roofing people coming to re-roof my home. So if y'all see a post that Saturday there's no video or next week there's no videos, it's because they are being loud. I just want to give y'all a heads up. I love y'all so much. I will see y'all Thursday. But until then, remember, it's scary out there. Please like and subscribe.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross